Hello everybody, this is Artemis with Team Renegade, and today I'm bringing you a video about the new application for Pokemon X and Y called Pokemon Bank. I want to just make a really quick video explaining very clearly to everybody exactly what Pokemon Bank is, and what it does, and how you can go about using it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but a quick little video to clear everything up should be helpful. So, with that in mind, let's go over what you need to use Pokemon Bank. So first of all, the most basic thing you need is a 3DS, and you need internet access. You need to make sure before you do anything else that you are connected to the internet and to a stable and good internet source before you use Pokemon Bank. This is very important. Besides that, you need a copy of Pokemon X or Pokemon Y. And if you want to transfer Pokemon from the past, they can only be transferred from Pokemon Black, White, or the second versions of those games. So, with that in mind, when you want to use Pokebank, now that it's out everywhere across the world, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the Nintendo Store, the Nintendo eShop. When you're at the eShop, once you're connected to the internet, you're going to go ahead and search for the Pokebank icon. Let me log in really quickly here. Okay, so you're in the Nintendo eShop. If you're really recently looking at this, you can just go and see what's new. Pokemon Bank should show up there. Otherwise, go up to the search button and do an actual search for Pokemon Bank. Go ahead and click on the icon, and you're going to click Download Pokemon Bank. If you are downloading it before March 14th of 2014, then it's going to be a 30-day free trial. Otherwise, it's about $5 per year to use the program, which is pretty worthwhile. So, you're going to take a little bit of time. There will be a little loading screen on your top screen as Pokebank downloads, and then you can go back to your home screen. At the home screen, try to open up Pokemon Bank. Now, when you first open up Pokemon Bank, it's going to require you to create a Nintendo Online ID. This is separate from your IDs that you may have when using the Pokemon Global Link or using the Nintendo Store. Just go ahead and create a new one. If you're under 18, go ahead and grab your parents for a little bit of help with this. That process actually takes a little bit, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, depending on how well you are able to just go through the menus and the agreements and such. Then, once you have created your Nintendo ID, you can exit, restart your DS, and start up Pokemon Bank again. When you start up Pokemon Bank, you're going to be greeted with 5 options. Use Pokemon Bank, learn about it, view your support ID number, this is for the Nintendo account you just created, or Poke Transporter download. Click on Poke Transporter download, and if you've not already gotten it, it'll take you straight to the Nintendo eShop. From there, you can quickly download Poke Transporter, which is just a little application for sending Pokemon over from Black and White versions. Now, let's look at using Poke Transporter really briefly. To use Poke Transporter, you need to make sure that you have in Pokemon Black, White, Black 2, or White 2. It will not work if you have Pokemon X or Y in your 3DS. You go to the Poke Transporter icon on your main page, load it up, and it's a very simple to use application here. When you're inside Poke Transporter, press Start. It'll connect you to the internet and log you into your Nintendo Network ID once again. And inside of the application, it's going to connect with your Pokemon Bank server, so linking it to your Pokebank account. It's going to give you a message that any Pokemon sent are going to be removed, and it's going to open up Box 1 in your classic Pokemon version. This is really important to know. It will only look at Box 1, and when you're in the menu, you can't choose what other boxes you're looking at. So you have to have everything you want in Box 1. Now, when you transfer the Pokemon, it's going to move them straight to your bank, not to your 3DS game. And it's going to perform some very simple hack checks to make sure that all the Pokemon you try to transfer are legal. Now, if one of the Pokemon does not pass Nintendo's hack checks, then it's not going to kick you out of Pokebank. It's not going to revoke your license or anything. It's just going to say that that Pokemon cannot be transferred. It'll transfer the other 29 or 28 or 27 Pokemon and leave that one in your box on your classic game. So you don't have anything to worry about if you have, say, a stray Pokemon from Japan or whatever, and you want to still transfer your other Pokemon. So I transferred over 999 Pokemon from a bunch of different games to my Pokemon Y version. We're going to quickly look at the Pokemon which were rejected. I only had, I believe, 9 of them rejected out of 999, so about a 1 in 100 rate. And we're going to look at the reasons why some of them might have been rejected. So when we scroll over to box 24, the first one is this shiny Lopunny. This Pokemon was rejected, I believe, because it may have been created with Pokegen. Second is Arceus. This is from a Toys R Us event a couple years ago. This Arceus was rejected because I probably tried to send through another Toys R Us Arceus at the same time. If they had the same Pokemon ID, Pokebank thought they were cloned and said, we don't want to send a clone through. This Darkrai was supposedly an event Pokemon that was received from somebody else. It's possible that this Darkrai just matched too many other Darkrai's of the same type that were already on the Pokebank servers, so it was rejected. This Lucario, I have no idea why it was rejected exactly. It may have something to do with having an egg move and a different combination of moves, I'm not sure exactly. But as I said, even though I don't know exactly why it was rejected, the point is it didn't get deleted or anything, it just got not sent through. Same case applies with Aeropteryx here, Archeops. This Serperior was rejected because it has an illegal moveset. If you look at its moveset, it has, oh wait, am I wrong here? I actually might be completely wrong. It's because it has Contrary, the hidden ability, which has not actually been released for Serperior yet. However, if it had had an illegal moveset, it would have been rejected as well, which is the case with the last rejected Pokemon, this shiny Ditto. This Ditto was not rejected because it was shiny, it wasn't rejected because it was anything unusual. The problems with it are that its moves learned include Mirror Coat, Metronome, and Psychic, and Pokebank knows that Ditto can not have any moves besides Transform. It's also important to note that Pokebank has had some issues with Dittos in general. If you're using like Pokegen or Pokebuilder Dittos to try to have, 31 IVs so that you can breed, Pokebank is surprisingly good at catching those, so you might want to stay away from that. Now, let's close that back up and let's look at the Pokebank application itself. Before we do that, we're going to want to make sure that we put in our Pokemon X or Y version. And we'll head back to the main menu. And from the main menu, we'll open up Pokemon Bank. And we'll go to viewing our account. When we go to use our account, it's going to double check we want to use the specific copy of Pokemon X or Y that's in the slot. The reason it does that is because you can also have X or Y downloaded straight from the Nintendo eShop, as I recall, which is a cool little feature, but not something that everybody's going to do. When you log on, you're going to receive Pokemiles, and you can say, would you like to exchange these for battle points, or just keep them as Pokemiles? I'm going to say I'm going to take them for battle points and send them through. Now, inside Pokebank, the first box you're going to see is going to be called the Transport Box. This box is where any Pokemon you sent over with Poke-Transporter will be, and they'll just be lined up here. Now, if you press Start, you'll see that the color of the mouse changes. Red is moving a single Pokemon. Blue is swap mode. And the last, green, allows you to make a shape. So it's useful because you can pick up an entire box and move it from one place to another. So that feature is actually pretty simple. You pick up these Pokemon, you move them in between. The top screen is Pokebank, and the bottom screen is the copy of Pokemon in your actual game. The only other things to mention are that you can set different groups here. So you can say box 1 is in group 1, and I can have my first couple of boxes be, say, wild Pokemon, but say we get to competitive Pokemon in box 6. I can go to box 6 and say, let's change the group here to being part of group 2. And it'll tell us how many boxes are in that group. A couple other features to note. If we press Y, it's going to give us a list of all the different Pokemon in both our Pokebank and in the boxes on our game. So we can see up top and to the left, there's 1,004 Pokemon total for me between those two. And you can see all kinds of information about all these Pokemon. Their type, nature, marking, their stats, their abilities, whether they're shiny, and actually you can search for these Pokemon by these categories. So when I mouse over shiny, we'll see on the bottom screen the option for finding shiny Pokemon shows up. Whereas if I'm on OT, I can search by original trainer. So we're going to go ahead and quickly do a search for original trainer here. And it's going to sort them, and it'll say 206 out of 1,004 Pokemon are from Artemiis, are from my current Pokemon Y game. And we can use these filters to find other Pokemon. There are a lot of filters. It's a really useful way at looking at all of your Pokemon in like one go. It's kind of infinite. It's up to you what you decide to do with that feature. So Pokemon Bank has 100 boxes. That's 3,000 storage slots for different Pokemon. Compared to only 31 boxes or 900 storage slots in your actual game cartridge. So overall, it's a really useful way to store a lot of Pokemon if you've been consolidating them since like many games back, like I have been. Overall, that's kind of most of the features that the game can do. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you have any other games you'd like us to check out, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, post, tell us anything you want us to hear. Thanks for watching, and we'll be joining you next Tuesday.